Still waiting on parts for the Audi, but we got this guy in the shop. I believe this is a 1940s Mercury type coupe, obviously super custom with a little chop top action going on there. It does have a very nice high performance 350 in it, which is pretty sweet. Runs and drives great. Sounds like it's just got some electrical issues. Windows aren't going up and down. The trunk's pretty sure it's off a push button in there. That's not working. And a couple of other items. But they say the Ford GT has bad visibility. Look at that thing in there. It's basically a skylight for this straight up couch we got in the back here. Super, super cool car. And hopefully they should be pretty simple issues. The guy that had it before looked like he knew what he was doing. But again, it just sat for a little while, so there's some issues. So the first issue we're going to tackle, there's no power getting through this junction block all the way over to the actual fuse panel. And I determined, based upon visual, that this was getting ready to fall out. So I made a temporary fix, and now we're going to make it a permanent fix. Much better. Now the other issue as to why the starter wasn't working was the solenoid signal wire that comes directly off the starter was just dangling there. So I found a wire that is only powered when the key is in the crank position, and I made a very temporary repair, as you can see, just to get it home. Now we're going to make it a permanent repair. I got some of this fancy shrink tubing. It's called Raychem, I think you say it? SCL. And what makes this nice is it gets super, super, super hard when it's cured. So I'm going to be soldering this joint. And the only reason I'm soldering it is because this isn't going to be a race car, so I'm not worried about the vibrations as much. And plus I'm using this, which will add more of the stability that it needs. Right here that was loose, so we're going to fix that one also. Alright, let's see if it starts again. Alright, now looking at the window situation, I right off the bat noticed something going on here. That goes right to the window motor, and doing a little bit more investigating. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's the problem. Let's get those crimped up. There we go. Put it back down in there. Let's try it. Key on. Get the key. Still nothing. That was definitely part of the problem, but it might be something additional. And if you see that cable there with the little threaded piece, goes right up there, but it's not connected into the back, so it should be a pretty simple fix. So another issue that was going on was the trunk release that you probably can't see was not actuating. And it's ran off of this switch right here. Traced it all back, all the wires were good. And I just tapped it a few times and it started working. So just to make sure there wasn't a short, because this wire goes all the way down there, up in there. Cut it, pulled it out, everything looks good. So I'm going to resolder that connection and check it out. Well, in the process of trying to find out why the trunk isn't functioning again, I looked at the fuses, and it's these cylindrical type fuses. And you can tell or not, it's a very thin one. Anyway, it's broke. There's a couple ways you can test these. One is you get your voltmeter and you put it probably on each side and have it on continuity, and if it beeps, then it's good. Or, I'll show you this. You got like your phone or something. My Kenny G plan. So I'll take the bad fuse, or what I suspect is the bad for the sake of this, and I'll put my finger on one end, and I'll touch, like if I'm going to put my pin in, nothing happens, right? When I take a known good one, same thing, put my finger over it, and go like this, it actually works. So again, like if you don't have a voltmeter, this is one thing you could do to verify it if it looks good, but you want to be sure. But let's put this fuse in and see if anything else works. All right. All right. Well, that fuse definitely needed to be replaced, but that was not the problem. Okay, so with the window not rolling up, I noticed there were a couple of wires in here that I had since repaired. They're completely disconnected. And I just got a clicking sound out of the switch. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Did some research, said maybe the motor's stuck. So what I actually ended up doing, a couple pieces of spare wire, cryptic connector on the end, or a male spade. But on this end, no connector. Popped them inside of that connector. I popped that connector out and then put one wire in on each prong and plugged these into like a Milwaukee battery that I had laying around. And I broke it free. So now, actually this, bro, I just did it. There. Lock again, how it was randomly working and not working. There's a wire up in here that has a butt connector on it, and I kind of wiggled it around. Now it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and see what's going on there. Found it. If you look real close, we have a short, so you can see right there. So we're just gonna tape that guy up, call her a day. Well, I don't know why it works, or I don't know why it doesn't work again, so I'll have to do some more diagnostic testing. It's gotta be something simple. I'm going to remove a little bit of this padding just so it sits flat because the window's running into it, and I'm going to re-stick it with this fancy high-strength contact adhesive. This is really good for like carpet and anything you don't want going anywhere. Got some more of our voltage drop issues. The yellow wire's totally pinched. Little update. Ended up taking the dash apart, and a couple things I noticed. My lights are intermittent on the dash, and that's because we got some of this action going on. And it was just sitting like this in here inside these little shrink tubes. So I'm going to take all these little zip ties off where pertinent. So like I'm going to check that one and just check all the different crimps. We got some in here because I think what we're dealing with is just a crimp issue, which should be nice because that would be a pretty simple fix. Another fix as to why none of the gauges were working, and they were working intermittently, this big old fat wire up in here was all crusted up and not connected. As you can see, all those little red wires up in there. Fix this, nice piece of Raytheon SCL, I think is how you pronounce it. Shrink tubing, it's really not pliable. So yeah, let's get the rest of those found and fixed. So working on the trunk release here, I did continuity test between the two pins on the switch. Continuity test periodically all the way around, traced it straight to the back, and I verified that that switch gets power and that it's grounded. So that narrowed it all the way down to a little piece in here that actually releases it. So I took that out, and what I discovered is I think it was just gummed up. It's just basically a piston. So now, if I manually jump it, if I put the ground on the negative, it actuates now. So I'm going to put it back in and see if it works. Alright, that took a billion times longer than it should have. Got that all up in there. Put the latch in there to simulate something in there. Here we go. Bro, the actual issue with this was that it didn't have a good ground, so I ran a new ground all the way down and just tapped it right into the battery here, nice and neat, like kind of like the other one. And it works. Well, now that we got most of the wiring things figured out, including this here trunk latch, we gotta get this thing all cleaned up because right now it smells like underwater. Interior all put back together. Couch has been successfully reinstalled. Wiring's all zip tied, gauges all work, carpet's all nice and clean. I don't know where this door card went, but the window works, so that's good there. Just waiting for a couple of these little button deals. I'm redoing those to unlock the door. A couple of spare things back here, charge up the battery. So now the next step is to get this thing outside, fire up my Ryobi, don't tell anybody I have a Ryobi tool, power washer, and get that thing sprayed off. Alright, well, I lied. The last thing to do is get these switches switched out. So the OG style that we had in here. This is push button style. It works, but it was just kind of old and such. And I found, oh, I dropped it, probably just broke it. It's fine. I bought these little momentary switches, and they're super flush. So they should be gangster sitting here. I will have to drill the hole just a tad bit bigger, but it's worth it. And it's got a gasket for moisture, for what it's worth. All right, well there it is. Got this rig all prettied up and ready to be sold. And yeah, thanks again for all the comments and the feedback on builds and stuff and what to do next. The merch is coming. I feel like I'm way too small to start doing that, but I want some, and so I figured why not offer it to everybody. I have a secret project that is technically car related, but it's not a car. Kind of in the iceberg a little bit, so it's going to be a little while before that even makes a remote appearance, but it's up in here, you know. Anyway, more videos to come. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. I've had a really good time. I love doing this, and we'll see where it goes.